Today we are talking about compliance for the construction and home service businesses and how the proper use of technology can help businesses save a bunch of money and make much more money as well. Now, working in home service businesses and working in construction industry is very profitable because the demand for this industry is never ending. AI can replace anything, but not construction workers. AI can kill the demand for any industry, but not home service industry. People still have to live somewhere. So the sense of security of these businesses also makes them not adopt technology very rapidly, which works fine for them at their current stage. They can keep making money, but then they lose on the potential upside with the proper use of technology and AI. So now if we talk about compliance, it's a very complicated topic. The reason being there are so many rules, there are so many nuances about compliances, about regulations that not every company knows about. And these things keep changing as well. So you have to have someone who keeps themselves up to date with the latest rules and regulations, who is very aware of the local laws, about the laws of those particular neighborhoods as well, so they don't violate any policy, any regulation that can cost them fines later down the road. Now we can't say that these companies don't use technology already. There are a bunch of tools available in the market, and most of these companies are already using these tools. But the problem with these tools is that they are very generic. They are built for the mass, and they are not good for solving any one company's problem decently enough. Or if they are solving a company's problem decently enough, then probably that company is one of their major customer, and they are solving it for that one particular customer, and then you are probably not that big customer. One of the problem of relying on these existing solutions is they have limited integrations with the tools which are also available in the market. So you are probably using some other tool for accounting, you are using some tool for your human resource management, you are using something for your field workers, and then you are using something else for your office operations. Now you are using this tool that aims to have 500 integrations, but you are still unable to find the tools that you are using in those 500 integrations. Now, before the pre-AI era, people used to say that, okay, we can't automate this stuff, or we can't integrate all of this knowledge in one place because the current tool we are using does not support it. That was a good enough excuse in the pre-AI era. But what about right now? What about now with AI, when you can implement these small integrations very quickly all by yourself? Now, if you give this excuse, this is not a good enough excuse. Like, I had this funny example. We were working with a customer of ours, and they were very reliant on Salesforce. Now, when one of their Salesforce team member jumped on the call with us and they requested some feature for the tool that we had built for that client, so they asked that, can you guys do it? Like, is it possible? And then our point of contact in that company said, they can do anything. They can custom build anything you want. So this was like a superpower for them. They were relying on Salesforce for years, but when they had the taste of technology, the taste of building their own purpose-built solutions, they could see the potential. They were like, we can do anything. Just tell us what you need, what kind of integration you are looking for, what kind of features you are looking for, and they can just go ahead and build it. Now, does that mean you don't need human anymore for the compliance oversight? No, you definitely need humans, but you don't need humans for the grunt work anymore, because grunt work is something that humans keep failing at again and again. Now, what's grunt work in compliance and regulatory management? The grunt work is, there is a human in the loop who needs to be up to date with all of the compliance laws, regulations. He needs to make sure all the locations that this company is catering for, he needs to understand and know the rules of all of those locations. Now you are putting too much pressure on this one guy, or maybe a team of people who have to understand all of these tools, who have to understand all of these locations and their compliance. But now with AI, it's very easy. You can have this AI agent specialized for each of the location that you are working for, each of the neighborhood that you are operating in, and then this AI agent can just pop up with the suggestions that, okay, I think this part in the documentation, this part in your current operation is not compliant. We can be compliant, or we can move up the compliance ladder if we keep following these things. And you don't need to have a person, you don't need to rely on someone who have to keep themselves up to date with the knowledge in the industry. So while we were working on this study, we came up with a few case studies, so we can showcase some cases where you can implement these AI agents, these AI team workers right away, so you can get the value in your business as well. So one of the use case we worked on was having an agent that keeps your company documentation and your company's policies up to date. The agent can just sit on top of all of your data. It can sit on top of your call transcripts. It can sit on top of the data of your current contracts, current projects, and it can start analyzing them. Now, this agent has the information about the compliance, about the regulations, and it has access to all of your data as well. Now, what it will do is it will start generating signals. Now, whenever this AI agent finds some gaps in your existing documentation, in your existing workflows, and the compliance that you need to follow, it will start generating signals. Those signals will reach the relevant people in your company, and those people will know, okay, we have to act on this, otherwise, we will be non compliant in X number of days. And this is a very, very powerful tool because it does two things. It makes sure your company's documentation and your company's own policies are compliant with the local laws, with the neighborhoods regulations, and it also makes sure that your company is compliant itself as well. So if you just implement this integration within your system, within your company, then you will be solving the compliance gap, and you will be solving the problem of having someone manually update the documentation of your company again and again. Now, the other use case is very, very simple, but with OSHA's regulations. Now, OSHA is a regulatory body that makes sure that whatever construction or home service work that you are doing is compliant with all the safety standards. Now, most of the time, the flaws in your workflow are highlighted once there is an OSHA inspection. And that's not a good position to be in as a company. You want your company to stay compliant even before the inspection happens. So you're in the good books of the government. Because in case an OSHA inspection happens and you are not compliant to some of their policies, then it can result in immediate work stoppage. It can result in cease and desist orders. It can result in lost productivity of your people, because you can't just have people pause, become available again once you are compliant. So now if you go ahead and build your own purpose built system, if you go ahead and build your own integration with all of your available data set, all of your available tools, and try to make that compliant with OSHA's regulation. Then whenever there is something in your existing system, documentation, your workflows, your call transcripts that is not compliant with OSHA's regulation, your system will generate signals, and your compliance manager can look at those things and immediately fix them. So before the inspection happens, you guys are safe. So while we were doing the research on this topic, we found an example. We found a case study where a service firm had the EMR of 1.16. At that stage, with that number, they were not able to close new contracts. So now, after conducting the experience modification analysis and correcting their data provided to the NCCI, the firm dropped its EMR from 1.16 to 0.94. And in the following 3 years, they were able to close business worth $15 million and reduce their insurance premiums by $84,000. This is the kind of value that you can add to your business if you follow the compliance properly. And the easiest way for any business to start following compliance is having the systems in place that can automatically generate signals whenever their business is not compliant to something. Now, what's the solution that we have in mind for all of these problems? I think I have given the hint of these solutions in the previous points that I have discussed, but let me just state it clearly. The solution to all of these problems is having a purpose-built system for your business. You don't need to rely on any third-party tools, because you will start subscribing to one tool for solving one problem, and then another tool for solving the other problem, and then third and fourth and fifth, and very, very soon your tech stack bill will keep rising. Instead, you should just focus on the problems that your company is facing, the offerings that your companies have, and the products that your company is offering. Your company, if you are operating in the construction and home service business, your company is probably still doing manual quotations, it's doing manual support, it's doing manual documentation, it's doing a manual compliance, it's doing manual risk assessment. All of these things can be operationalized with the help of a good software. The software that your company also owns, it becomes part of your own IP. Most of the time you go to these trade shows for your industry, you go to these conferences, and there is someone selling some existing software that they have sold to 100 different people. Now, what's the value for implementing that particular software in your business? I mean, don't get me wrong, there was huge value before the AI era. There was huge value of just integrating them because the cost for building those systems was way too high. The cost for managing and maintaining those systems was just way too high. But now, after AI, you can just simply implement these for your specific business. You don't need to worry about all of those technical jargons that the tech people like me keep throwing at you. You just need to state your problems very, very clearly. Okay, you need a quote creation specifically for your business. Let's say if you are a construction business, or if you are a roofing business, or if you are a solar business, then you need to install those solars or those roofs on the roof of a house. So you need to have some very specific quotation based on your own material, based on the type of roof you are installing, or the with the dimensions of the solar you are installing, right? So right now your people manually do all of that stuff, but they don't really need to. You have your product and you have the measurements for your product. All you need to do is just implement a system that knows all of these measurements and can just go ahead and implement and create that code for you. You also need this system to help maintain a risk profile of your business as well. So it just sits on all of your data, it sits on all of your call recordings, all of your documentation, all of your accounting data, the sheets, and it needs to identify the possible risk scenarios, possible compliance gaps. Now you can say, why don't I just go ahead and use these existing tools that provide support for these 1000 compliance frameworks? And you would be right if you need those 1000 compliance frameworks, but your business only needs like 5 different compliance frameworks. So why do you need to pay for like 1000 different ones? Unless you are a compliance company, then yes, you need to have knowledge of all of those thousands of compliance frameworks, but you really don't. You need these 5 compliance frameworks specialized for your own business. These five compliance frameworks need to stay up to date. You have to be very, very specific for your own business. You don't need to care about what's happening in the world of compliance. You only need to care about what's happening within your particular business. And then, cherry on the top, whenever you use some existing software in the market, you're not adding anything to the IP of your business. That software is owned by some other software company. If you operationalize your own business with the help of your own personalized tools, you are implementing a technology IP for your own business, which adds to the overall worth and the market value of your business. Now, you would say that we are a construction company, we are a home services company. What do we know about technology? How do we implement all of these things? My answer would be you don't need to worry about them. There are thousands of technology firms, thousands of implementation companies who are available, who can help you figure out your own solutions for you. We are one of them. There are thousands of others. Reach out to us, reach out to any of them, and you can have your own IP, you can have your own system that is built specially for your own business, and you can probably achieve way more with those systems in way less amount of time than what you have been trying to achieve with the existing solutions in the market. My name is Hashir Baig. I am the founder and CEO of RipeSeed. We work with companies and enterprises to implement their AI strategy, implement their own purpose-built software within their company so we can add to their IP and solve the problems by staying within their existing tools, with their existing data, without relying on a lot of third-party tools. Thank you.